how can meeting a friend for coffee serve as an act of cultural preservation? For cities that have gone through centuries of upheaval and change, historic meeting places offer a theatre for stories to be shared and ultimately not forgotten. You're listening to Tall Stories, a Monocle production brought to you by the team behind The Urbanist. I'm Andrew Tuck. In this episode, Syed takes us to a café in Damascus, which serves up stories of the Syrian capital's past.
In the shadow of the great Umayyad mosque's ancient eastern gate sits a café that has witnessed the rise and fall of regimes and colonial powers. Al-Nawfara Café, though young compared to the 8th century mosque above it, remains one of the oldest coffee houses in the Middle East, its doors having welcomed guests for somewhere over 350 years. From the outside terrace, you'll see families and couples taking selfies with the mosque's impressive wooden gate, but step inside and you're immediately enveloped by the bubbling of shisha pipes and the gentle whirl of old ceiling fans that barely stir the heavy sweet-scented air. The aroma of Turkish coffee mingles with the apple tobacco as waiters dart between wooden chairs and simple tables, carrying glowing coals for the water pipes. The walls tell their own stories, a random collection of portraits, faded photographs of the Umayyad Mosque, and tapestries bearing Quranic verses that give the space its homely feeling. But it's the elevated chair, almost throne-like in its prominence, that draws every visitor's attention. This is the seat of the Hakwati, the traditional storyteller whose voice has carried through Damascus' darkest nights and brightest days. Here, dressed in traditional attire, the Hakwati takes his place each evening, sword in hand, transforming ancient tales into living theatre. His voice rises and falls as he becomes each character, his blade flashing during tales of war and conquest. Before television screens, the Hakwati was the evening's entertainment, but more than that, he was the keeper of collective memory. His stories of love, loss and betrayal and redemption weren't mere diversions. They were lessons wrapped in narrative, particularly vital in a land that has known occupation, revolution and civil war. Today, as Damascus slowly emerges from one of its darkest periods, the weight of the Hakwati's role feels heavier than ever. The initial euphoria of change has given way to the harsh realities of rebuilding a fractured nation. The recent bombing of the Mar Elias Church sent shockwaves through the city's Christian quarter, a reminder that Syria's path forward remains fraught with danger. In this atmosphere of uncertainty, Al-Nawfara Café serves more than a gathering place. It's a sanctuary where ancient wisdom meets modern anxieties. The stories told from that elevated chair carry new resonance when recounted to audiences who have lived through their own tales of survival and loss. Al-Nawfara Café has survived Ottoman rule, French colonial administration, independence, coups, wars and revolution. Its walls have absorbed the conversations of merchants and rebels, poets and politicians, ordinary citizens seeking solace in ritual and story. The café's persistence through Syria's tumultuous history speaks to something deeper than an ordinary establishment. It represents the enduring power of community and narrative to sustain people through the darkest chapters of their collective experience. As Damascus writes its next chapter, Al-Nawfara remains what it has always been, a place where the past informs the present, where stories carry the weight of wisdom, and where the simple act of gathering over coffee and tales becomes an act of cultural preservation. As Damascus slowly pieces itself back together, the Hakwati's voice persists, conveying to those who listen that every chapter's end births a new story, and that some traditions are too valuable to let slip away.
Tall Stories is a Monocle production from the team behind The Urbanist. This episode was written by Syed and produced and edited by David Stevens. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast to receive new episodes every week. I'm Andrew Tuck. Goodbye, and thank you for listening, city lovers.
On The Urbanist, we're always asking what makes a city truly livable. This September, find some answers in Barcelona as Monocle hosts its annual Quality of Life conference. 3 days of panels, ideas and good conversation with global mayors, architects and policy pioneers, all over good food and a glass of something local. Find out more and book your seat at monocle.com/conference.